Welcome back to another neighborhood tour episode. Today we are going to check out a house in a neighborhood that is located pretty close to the border of Cleveland Heights and University Heights. So it's just outside an area called the Royal Heights. So the Royal Heights is a strip of streets. It's Canterbury, Princeton, Kingston, and Queenston. And the nickname of those streets in that neighborhood is called the Royal Heights. And so where we're going is just outside of that. And it's on a street called Dellwood. And it's located between Fairmount Boulevard and Cedar. So it's almost right in the middle of Fairmount and Cedar. But I want to take you over there, show you the house that's currently for sale on the street, and then walk you around the neighborhood. And we'll also go through and check out, nearby grocery stores and nearby restaurants and shops and all those type of things, to give you a better feel for what's going on in the neighborhood. Alright, so we just pulled up to Dellwood. So let's get out, let's walk around the neighborhood a little bit, and I'll kind of show you the houses for sale and then also some other houses on the street to give you a better feel for what's going on in the neighborhood. Let's hop out and take a look. As we walk down the street in the neighborhood, you can kind of see behind me, there's a lot of, I'd say the most popular home style is a colonial. So there's a ton of colonials on the street, older homes. So average age is probably around 90 years old or so. The one that's listed down the street was built in 1931. So you're looking at, whatever it is, 92 years old. So that's pretty much on par for the average of how old the houses are. Like I said, a lot of colonials. You're gonna see majority of these houses, I say, range between 1700 square feet. So a lot of 3-bed, 2-bath homes, and each one's a little bit different. And so no one home is exactly the same, which is cool. And that's kind of what you'll see a lot in Cleveland Heights. And so you got different colors. There's, bigger houses. There's a couple little bungalows. And we are located between South Taylor, which is down this way, and Lee Road, which is back down behind me. So Dellwood runs from South Taylor down to Lee. We've got a little brick, almost like a Tudor style home there as well, with the colonials mixed in. And in terms of home values, so over the last 60 days, there's been 2 other houses that have sold. Average sale price on those 2 houses was about $237,000, and average size was just over 1,500 square feet, and those were both 3-bed, 2-bath homes. And so pretty much exactly what the average you see on the street is. That's what these homes were selling for, and both of those on average took only 3 days to sell. So this is a pretty desirable area for people. Across the street here, not get hit. You're gonna see a handful of first-time home buyers in the area, or families, maybe a family with a kid or a couple kids. And so it's a nice, quiet residential street. You don't get a ton of traffic. which is nice. And the other great thing is it's pretty centrally located, so you can easily get to, you know, local elementary schools. You could walk to a coffee shop. You can easily drive to downtown. A highway is about 12 minutes or so away. So it's a good central location that you can get to a lot of things pretty easily. So you kind of see the different home styles behind me here as we're rolling down the street. And one thing you'll notice, you know, and I like to see in neighborhoods, is when you're out walking around, you see neighbors are out and about. People are out on their front porches or mowing their lawn. There's kids that are riding their bike, and so it's definitely got a community feel to it. And you can tell that it's filled with residents that kind of take pride in their homes and in their neighborhood. People are friendly. They'll smile at you, wave to you. Then as we come up to the house that's for sale, so like I said, the past 2 houses that have sold have sold on average for about $237, a little bit over that. The house that's listed now is listed at $275, so it's listed a little bit higher than what the average sale price has been. But this is one that has an extra bathroom, so it's actually 3-bed, 2.5 baths, so 2 full baths. It is this house right here behind me. So 2 full baths and a half bath, listed at $275, and they have done a good amount of work to it. So they've updated the kitchens, and they've done painting on the entire interior. They've recently painted the outside of the house, and so, you know, they've taken the time and put some good money into updating the home. They've got a newer 2-car garage. It definitely has some things that some of the other houses that are recently sold maybe don't necessarily have, but it is a nice looking property. So again, that is the house right there. Kind of see across the street, looks like they're currently renovating one here, which is nice. And so you'll frequently see that. Some people have owned houses on the street for 30, 40 years even, and, you know, unfortunately haven't kept up with them in some situations, but it's a great opportunity for somebody to come through and buy them and improve the properties. So you will see that from time to time, but I would say more frequently you see homeowners that take a lot of pride in their house and upkeep them, and it's a nice street to live on. I want to do a quick lap around the block. So I want to drive around the block and show you guys, you know, the different home styles that are in the neighborhood, and then from there we will cruise down Lee Road. So on Lee Road, less than a half mile down the road, I mean, you could walk there from Dellwood, from the house we just looked at. You're gonna find a handful of coffee shops or restaurants. There's a couple of breweries, the wine spot where you could pick up a glass of wine or beers to go or something like that. So we're gonna cruise down Lee Road, and I'm kind of show you that area, and then we will head over to the local grocery store, and then also I'll show you which schools are closest. We are popping down Ormond, which is just one street next to Dellwood, one street closer to Fairmount Boulevard, and so a very similar type of street and neighborhood, obviously, is one street over. A lot of colonials, a lot of 3-bed, 2-bath homes. As you can see, there's, you know, a lot of people out walking. There's some people working on their yard. A lot of these homes are very well kept. You know, the lawns are cut. We got a big sunflower garden going on that house right now. And we are headed down towards Lee Road. So we're driving, but like I said, you could literally walk to Lee Road and everything that we're gonna go check out right now very, very easily, less than a half mile. So as we get to Lee Road right here, This bridge that we're going under is actually part of the Cleveland Heights Library. So that's another thing that you have right here. If you've got kids, they have a lot of great free library classes you can go to. As you see a group of little kiddos here walking down the street. So the Cleveland Heights Library is a great option to have. Again, just at the end of your street there on Dellwood. Out here, you can see there's a number of coffee shops, which we'll check out here in a minute. There's a new bakery they put in. Voodoo Brewery is also on the street. Stone Oven Bakery, which is phenomenal. They got pastries, they've got sandwiches and salads and all that type of stuff. And then also they are building, as you can see the construction up here on the right, they're building some luxury apartments that are going to go in here. So that's what you see there on the corner. This guy's not paying attention. As we approach Cedar, so that's where we are now. We're on the corner of Kildare and Cedar. This right in front of me is Cleveland Heights High School. So a few years ago, they completely renovated the entire thing to kind of bring it back to its old form. So you can see that nice view of the bell tower there, and they kind of opened up this front section of the school. But that's what we're looking at right now is Cleveland Heights High School. So again, if you've got kids that are going to be in the Cleveland Heights University Heights School District and going to Heights, they can easily walk there. Easily walk to school from one of those streets over by Dellwood. And it's really it's a beautiful looking building now since they've done the renovations. It looks a lot different from when I was there. And then as we roll down in front of the school, over to the right is the football stadium. So as we pop down Lee Road here, we're gonna hit a strip that has some kind of staples here in Cleveland Heights. We've got the Stone Oven Bakery right here at the wine spot. We've got a new bakery that just went in, Voodoo Brewery, Phoenix Coffee, which we're gonna pop in here. And then on the corner, we got the Tavern Company, which is a restaurant bar. You can get burgers and sandwiches and all that type of thing. So let's roll down here and we'll pop in and grab a coffee from Phoenix. And everything's pretty easy to get to. There's free parking back behind all of these restaurants. You've got a free parking lot here. So this is where we're gonna park. We're gonna pop over and grab ourselves a coffee. Can't park right there. We will hop over right here. All right, so as we get out here, I'm in the parking lot behind all of those coffee shops and things that you saw. So behind me, you've got everything from Phoenix Coffee to the Stone Oven where you can get lunch. You've got Voodoo Brewery. You've got Mitchell's, which is a chocolate and like candy store, mainly chocolate. And then you've got Murata's Pizza, which is over here. The wine spot is just behind me here, which I love. You can go in there and get a bottle of wine or beers to go or something like that. And so this area is great. If you live in the area, it's super easy to walk to, or if you're driving, there's tons of parking and a lot of things to offer to eat or to drink. We've also got a new kids toy store that is just across the street from the parking lot that I'm in now. But let's pop into Phoenix. We got a little outdoor seating area, which is great. Let's pop in, grab a little coffee. Alrighty, we got our coffee from Phoenix and we are ready to rock. But as you can see, I would say the thing that sets this neighborhood apart is the walkability is really great, you know. So where we drove from Dellwood over to where we got the coffee here, again, that's half a mile. You could easily walk that, walk to a restaurant, walk to a brewery, walk to get coffee, whatever you need to do. It's all right there. So then one of the other things you're probably wondering is where's the nearest grocery store? So there's really 2 grocery stores that you can go to. We'll drive by one of them right now. Both of them, the longest one is about 1.5 miles. That's a Whole Foods. That's technically in University Heights, but it's a quick drive. Like I said, 1.5 miles. Then the second one is a Dave's Market. And so Dave's is just down Lee Road. You could technically walk there. It's about 1 mile from Dellwood where we saw the house, but we're gonna drive by that real quick. Then we're gonna stop by the local elementary school. So there is Fairfax Elementary and then also Canterbury Elementary School. The house we saw in Dellwood literally sits on the dividing line for these school boundaries. But let's cruise by Fairfax after we go to the grocery store, and then from there I'm gonna swing by what's called Shaker Lakes, which is a cool area to see. And so this area here, we're on the corner of Meadowbrook and Lee. This whole area here is gonna be luxury apartments. So they're building a couple different luxury apartment buildings here that'll have storefronts underneath. And so that'll be a big change. This used to just be a common kind of grass area, so this will be a big change in the neighborhood coming up in the next couple of years. So here is the closest grocery store. So this is Dave's Market and Eatery. It used to be a separate, kind of more locally owned grocery store called Zagara's, but now they turned it into a Dave's, which is a little bit more kind of a mainstream chain. But this would be the closest spot for you to get everything you need from the grocery store. And like I said, there's also a Whole Foods that's only about 1.5 miles from Dellwood over there. As we come out of the parking lot here, so across the street over this way in front of me is Paws Cleveland. So it's a doggy daycare. If you need a daycare for your pets to go, they've got that option. In front of me here, in these old diner cars, which have been a number of different things over the years, they have a Rising Star coffee. So another coffee shop right there. Rising Star makes a good cup of joe. So we are getting out on a street called Wellington. So we are on the opposite side of Lee Road from where Dellwood is. This is one of my favorite areas in Cleveland Heights. So as you can see behind me, houses are a little bit bigger over here. This is where you're gonna find some like 4-bedroom, 3-bath type houses that are over 2,000 square feet. And Wellington runs right into Fairfax Road, which runs right into Fairfax Elementary. So Fairfax is one of the elementary schools that, if you're in the Cleveland Heights University Heights school district, that your kids may go to, if you're living over on Dellwood or one of those streets close by to where we were walking around earlier. But again, some older, bigger colonials on this street, as you can kind of see behind me, filled with a lot of character. And again, these are going to be houses that are 90 to 100 years old or more. Quiet street. Again, nice neighborhood, easy to walk. A ton of people out walking their dogs Kids are out riding their bikes. It's a beautiful neighborhood. All right, so we'll pop over to Fairfax Elementary here in a minute, but I just kind of want to walk you down Fairfax Road here and show you just kind of the difference in home sizes from streets over on Dellwood. So like this one behind me, they're actually doing some work to it, looks like, putting an addition on the house. If you're looking for a bigger home, something bigger than that 3-bed, 2-bath, this might be a good spot to be. So you can see beautiful gardens here. So people really upkeep their homes, and it's a pretty pleasant neighborhood to walk around as well. But let's go take a look. I'll show you around Fairfax, and then we'll hop in the car and go over to Shaker Lakes. We are walking through the parking lot at Fairfax. So this is the elementary school behind me. There's about 350 students, so K through 5, that go to Fairfax. And this is part of the Cleveland Heights University Heights School District. So as you can see here, they've got a newer playground area. They recently updated all the playgrounds at the elementary schools over the last about a year or two. And over on the opposite side of these playgrounds is Lee Road, where we came down, where we turned off of Dellwood and Ormond, and then we hit the coffee shops down there. So all these places that we've been are an easy walk if you live over in that Dellwood or Ormond kind of neighborhood. So really nice area. Like I said, there's always people out. The neighbors are friendly. You see a lot of kids playing or riding bikes in the area. So if you are looking for an awesome neighborhood to live in Cleveland Heights, I highly recommend this area. So this is Fairfax behind me, the old principal. It's the reserved parking spot. They're not in today, it looks like. But so Fairfax is one of 7 elementary schools in the Cleveland Heights University Heights School District. All right, so as we hop back in the Jeep, we are going to just drive down Wellington so you get an idea for what this neighborhood looks like. Again, much bigger homes, large colonials, probably 4 to 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, those type of houses. We're gonna head down Wellington, and then we're gonna go down Fairmount, and we're gonna pop over to Shaker Lake. So if you're into, you know, walking or nature or running trails or biking trails, awesome place to go. Great scenery. So let's pop over and check it out. One last stop on this neighborhood tour. We are getting out right now, and I'm parked on the corner of Shelburne and North Park. And so again, this is all walkable to the Dellwood area where we first started this whole tour. All right, so we just crossed over Shelburne. So Shelburne and North Park kind of meet up right behind me here. There's actually a section of Shelburne where Shaker Heights technically starts. So like I said at the beginning of the video, we're very close to that area called the Royal Heights, and the Royal Heights sits on a corner where University Heights, Shaker, and Cleveland Heights all kind of meet. And where I'm walking right now, this is part of Shaker Lakes. So this walking trail and bike trail that starts here and kind of leads all the way down that way stretches a good chunk of distance, and it actually extends all the way down further into Cleveland Heights to what's called Lower Lake, where there's a lake you can walk around. But there's a ton of trails and biking and walking paths that you can enjoy, especially during the summertime. So you can kind of see behind me these nice paths and wooded areas, which are great. Also, just down North Park there, another school that's in the area is Beaumont. So Beaumont is a all-girls Catholic high school. So if you're looking for a private school, Beaumont is down that way, not too far from where we started our tour also. As you can see here, some of the houses in the area are beautiful, so huge colonials again. And some of these are technically Shaker Heights. Like I said, we're pretty close to the border of Cleveland Heights and Shaker Heights. As we come down the path here, got my guy on the bike zipping by me. Again, just to reiterate as we kind of wrap up the tour, such a unique area. On, you know, whether you're living on Dellwood there or you're just searching in the surrounding area, I mean, the number of things that you're able to walk to in a short amount of time is kind of second to none. And so this area offers a lot, no matter what you're interested in. If you're looking for entertainment, you're looking for walking trails, if you're looking for a coffee shop or a restaurant, we got everything you need here in the Cleveland Heights area. Also, just off of the bike and walking paths, there's hiking trails. So that's what I'm on right now. You can see these trails that have been kind of cleared out. If you're into hiking, or maybe you want to do some trail running or something like that, like this is a sweet spot to walk through, run through, get some exercise, whatever you want to do. You can kind of see this whole ravine area behind me, but it's pretty cool. Like I said, anything that you, not anything, but there's a ton that's offered right here in this little area. So if you're in the neighborhood or in the surrounding neighborhood, you got easy access to all these different things, no matter what you're interested in.